coming to you live from the Midway Atoll National Wildlife Refuge here in the Midway Atoll. We are here with the 57th, I can read, 57th edition of Grand Platypus Open, number 57. I'm, of course, your host, Yaku of Zaku, and with me today we have El Jaguar, que tiene un sombrero de Nicaragua, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yahoo? Yes, we are here. This is gonna be amazing. This is beautiful. We have the debut of one of the best players in our entire region, mate. He is the DreamHack Winter Champion for Oceania. My God.
My God is not currently here. He's somewhere else in the bracket. However, here in the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner of Def Aura, we have, as you said, the DreamHack Oceania representative Winter Edition. He is coming down from the Philippines representing Liap Esports. We have EnDerr.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have now rocking the new flags, the Australian Zerg player. He is blue, representing his team Downfall Gaming, BFG. It is Oreo.
And this is the matchup that we saw in the bracket we knew we had to get in. EnDerr making his very first debut in Grand Platypus Open. Oreo returning GPO for the first time last week after a pretty long hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to see him back. It's been a pretty long time, so it's cool that he's becoming more of a regular here. And on top of that, things are looking up for Oreo. We were talking about how he's been having a bunch of wrist issues. Since then, he has gone to the doctor. He has gone through some physiotherapy. He has a plan to make sure things are gonna be okay for him, and he can continue to play StarCraft and not be too bothered by it.
Indeed, he has. But we'll definitely take a look and see how things progress. I know he has been trying to play a little slower nowadays, but I still see his APM jumping up quite a bit.
Yeah, he was explaining to me actually that it's not necessarily about his speed, but the way his hand tenses up when playing is his biggest issue, and his, I guess not his posture, but his hand positioning as well. So that's stuff that he has to work on. But yeah, hopefully everything works out for him. Speaking of, mate, he's going for two base lair.
Indeed, he is. Keeping an eye on the gas counts over here. He is getting a little bit of a quicker Evo chamber, but we'll see if he's just using it for a wall or something a little bit sneakier in store.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting a lot of gas here, Light.
We were talking a lot about Oreo, but we haven't really mentioned EnDerr much. He is one of the top 3 Zerg players in our region, up there with players like Mio Micah and Gogo Joey. And yeah, typically we expect him to be the aggressor here, and he hasn't really been able to scout much. But I mean, we do see 16 links on the way for him. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's quite a bit to say the least. Oreo, though, I'm not sure if I like this, Light.
Yeah. This is scary because this is gonna hit hard. Link speed just finished up. Oreo was able to scout it, and he does see the massive flood of links heading across the map. What's important is that there isn't a bailing nest with this. It's just pure link flood. There is a wall, and immediately a secondary wall goes up, or he walls off completely.
Yeah, you really love to see that. Even the spine crawler being thrown down just in case as well. It will be a time before more range units come out. These queens, I mean, they're decent, but they don't actually have that much damage potential on them. They don't quite have enough for a transfuse. The Evo chamber with +1 does get denied. And that's actually pretty important. I mean, I'm sure EnDerr wanted to get a lot more damage done, but considering the build that Oreo was going for, if you can delay +1 or even just flat out deny it for that long, it's a massive win for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was looking to hit a 2-base timing with that +1 range, and having it denied like that, oh god, that hurts so much. Thankfully though, Oreo didn't straight up die, which is something that definitely could have happened there. The links could have broken through, links would have flooded in, killed the queens, killed everything here. So with that, Oreo does hold on, And the problem is that, like, EnDerr is fully aware of what he's doing. Like, he has eyes outside the natural. He's aware when the roaches push out.
All he needs is to keep up this contain, or, I mean, even as he said, just be aware of when the roaches come out. Maybe catch a couple of reinforcements of the lings that he's got over here, and just build up at home. He did retreat from that position, and Oreo is feeling safe enough now to take that third base.
Yeah.
Which, we'll see how well he saturates that. It could be a scenario where Oreo's thinking, all right, well, my +1 got delayed for this long. I'm not going to accomplish much of a push. Might as well try to out-macro my opponent here.
He's trying to focus on the third.
And it will get delayed, even gets a drone as well, so it's not going to be easy whatsoever for Oreo to retake that. There was a chance here that Oreo, from a behind position, could have tried to out-macro EnDerr here, but now I fear that that opportunity has slipped through his fingers.
Yeah, I like the decision making by Oreo, by the way. Like, again, he was looking to go for a 2-base timing because his Evo chamber and his push was delayed. He decided to macro up instead. That's why we see double upgrades on the way. You know, he's looking to, as you said, kind of macro up instead of go for that timing. He is still going cross map with these roaches, but I don't know if this is the right move. He gets surrounded.
Yeah, on the one hand, I want to say, you know, may as well try to see what you have done, but that was pretty much the entirety of Oreo's army. He is still building up a little bit back at home. He does still have a decent amount of defenses, but this just gives EnDerr so much initiative. He doesn't even have, what's the word I'm thinking of? Neopatized Carapace, Ferocious, what's called Galactic Constitution, but he's still making his way across the map. The speed zone helping him out tremendously, and as long as he's able to get these lings to do something while waiting for the roach reinforcements, EnDerr can just keep up so much pressure.
Man, he's gonna do more than just something. Like, he keeps denying the third base. His roach army is finally here. Oreo will have the upgrade advantage. He will have 1-1 as opposed to just the 1+1 carapace for EnDerr, but he has so many lings here, Ravagers as well, and more importantly, all EnDerr wants to do is delay the third, deny the third.
Honestly, he's gonna win a battle of attrition here, which is not something I thought I'd say about EnDerr.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a really interesting way, the way he has approached this game, but, like, it's looking so good for EnDerr at the moment. To be fair, Oreo, he isn't too far behind in terms of workers. He's actually ahead in workers. The problem is that he's mining inefficiently. Like, he desperately needs that third base.
And it looks like he will just about be able to get it here, but I'm just looking at the production tab right now for EnDerr. I love how active he's being with these links, just catching these stray roaches wherever he can find them. Oreo is trying to counterattack a little bit here, but I don't know about his Slight.
Yeah, exactly. Like, again,
he even up the upgrades pretty soon.
For now, Oreo does have a window where he does have the upgraded advantage, but he will. Oh no, he's not gonna. Please don't push in. You're gonna get surrounded by the links.
And the lings do catch a couple of reinforcements here. EnDerr already setting up that concave, and here we go. Oreo completely sandwiched. This is his entire army light.
Oh god, that it is, and it gets trapped. It gets piled down by the Ravagers of EnDerr. Everything gets taken out, and now Oreo, he's on the back foot. He's barely got any army supply compared to EnDerr.
EnDerr lost nothing but lings in that engagement.
Jesus.
Point that out. He's not really making those lings, to be fair, but I feel like we've reached a point where he doesn't really need them. He's evened up the upgrades. Well, his Galactic Constitution is about to be finished up, and yeah, now that EnDerr's economy has been completely untouched, he's just going to pump out roach after roach after roach, march him across the map, and I fear he might take this game.
Yeah, exactly. There's just too much supply here. There are no spines for defense as a single queen, but what's that really going to do?
Not a whole lot, I tell you. Still love the usage of whatever links he had left here. Just trying to reach around and prevent the retreat of these roaches of Oreo, and now this is a concave and a half light. A single spine ain't gonna stop this onslaught.
Yeah, exactly. There's just too much here. The upgrades are tied up, and EnDerr, he can do whatever he wants here. He can, you know, take out the tech, he can take out the third base, and even just taking out the third just keeps Oreo on 2 bases just in an awful position. Takes out the Roach Warren.
And yeah, Oreo's +2 is going to finish up pretty soon, but he's not going to be able to make use of that. I don't think it's in the end, though. Yeah, massive concave of roaches coming up from EnDerr, and that is arguably more important than upgrades are when it comes to roach versus roach.
Oreo, he's at less than half the army supply of EnDerr. There's just way too much here. EnDerr, he takes out the third base. He's pushing into the natural. The drones are forced off the line, which is as desperate as you can get.
Not even. Yeah, but they're getting body blocked by the roaches too. GG is called, and EnDerr shows off why we want to see him.
Oof. That he does. I love it. EnDerr, he went for the link flood initially, and with that, he was able to accomplish so much, like delaying the kind of 2-base push that Oreo wanted to go for, and just never let Oreo get up to 3 bases.
Not a single time. Starving out his opponent. He knows exactly what he's doing there.
Yeah. Oh god, exactly. There's a reason why EnDerr is our most recent Oceanic DreamHack champion. Oh boy. But you know, he's got some pretty heavy hitters in front of him. You know, we've got people like Oreo, and we mentioned it before, Miyamika and Gogo Joey. They are also in the bracket.
Yeah, the 2 winningest players when it comes to Grand Platypus Open. And I believe it was just last week in Demi-C Weekly that we had Miyamika taking out EnDerr.
Yeah, exactly. EnDerr, it's really cool to see him being active again. He was on a bit of a hiatus, of course, after DreamHack Winter. But recently, about a month or so ago, he started laddering again, and now we see him being a lot more active in these online events. Much more so than last year. You can tell that he really wants to take this year, 2021, a little bit more seriously.
Staying in that team house, making sure he gets the regimen that he really needs. Yeah, 2021 looks pretty bright for our Filipino Zerg player.
Oh yeah. But you know, it's still the beginning, right? He's still gotta get back into form. As you said, like, he's been struggling a little bit against some of the other hard-hitting players like Miyamika. And his real first test here is against Oreo. Oreo, who is also kind of on the up and up, you know, the best Zerg player in Australia.
Without a doubt, Rip Chappie and NXZ. Actually, Rip NXZ, yeah.
Exactly. Exclamation mark Funada Chase in the chat. I see you in the chat, Chase. I see you. Mate, when are we going to see you in the GBL again? Just saying.
Shaking my head. Did Chase play? Oh, yeah, he did.
He did.
It's hard to remember because I feel like Chase's, like, his biggest moments, to my memory anyway, happened during ESL Dare Cups. No, most famously when he proxy hatched Probe.
That was really where he peaked in his life.
Honestly. It's all downhill from there. Okay, Chase. As we continue the series on Submarine LE, the LE submarine of which we all do in fact reside in, although some of us thrive, like a player in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, a Blues player. He is coming down from the land of Brisbane, one of our Brisbane boys. He is rehabilitating himself and really looking to get back into that top 3, hopefully into that top 2, hopefully into that top 1 this week. We'll see if it happens. Representing Downfall Gaming, DFG, he is Oreo. Make his opponents go, uh-oh.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of a Submarine LE, going for a gas pool first opener, we have the Filipino Zerg player, the Red Zerg El Campeon, the champion himself, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is EnDerr.
And I gotta tell you, Light, when Oreo picked Submarine, I was scratching my head. I was saying, do you not know who you're up against right now, Oreo?
Right, like, Oreo, this was his map pick, and he opened up economically, standard, safe, against EnDerr?
You'd expect this to be EnDerr's pick. But, you know, that is, I guess, a bit of a stroke of fortune here. His opponent picked a map that is kind of favorable to his own play style, and as we see, he is looking to make use of that, pulling out a gas entirely. This is another full-on link flood.
That it is, as we do have 6 links going across the map. With EnDerr going for the gas first, he does get link speed much faster than Oreo can hope to achieve. So with that, EnDerr, he has a lot of possibilities. You know, with this, he will have the link advantage, he will have the map control. If he kept workers in gas, he probably could have gone for a Baleen Nest as well behind this, but for now, only relying on that link speed.
Indeed he is. And I mean, you don't want to underestimate link speed either. Pretty good of starter stepping the links. I mean, it's hard to pull off, but it's something you can do, and even kiting a couple of the drones or the lings that come out from your opponent. EnDerr has not fully flooded yet. In fact, he's double expanding?
Yeah, look at him go. He's getting his third base quite quickly. Again, only 6 links initially, just for that map control. Interesting. Oreo actually goes for a Baneling Nest behind this.
I'm assuming that's for safety here, but I don't know. Oreo's making a bunch more Zerglings. Normally, I would say that Oreo is going to be a little scared here. I mean, he saw the 6 Lings very, very early on marching across the map, and it is Submarine we're talking about. But his Overlord spots the third base.
He does. And I think that's part of it. I think that Oreo's plan is to push, be incredibly aggressive, and deny this third base. Obviously, he has to wait. He has to bank up these Lings and wait for Ling speed. If he moves out now, he's just going to be caught out by the speed Lings of of EnDerr, and he's just going to go for a massive flood, but his Lings get revealed. Oh, God.
And this is so good for EnDerr. Not only can he take advantage of his little bit of faster Ling speed here, but I mean, he's waiting for that Baneling Nest to finish up. He's sending his initial 6 Lings here to cause as much havoc as he can, so that Oreo really has to win the game when he pushes across the map here, or else it's gonna be done pretty much. The Baneling Nest still quite a ways off here for EnDerr. Oreo's own Banelings just finishing up.
Yeah,
EnDerr's got to buy himself a lot of time here.
Oh God, we'll see how good the Ling Bane connections are going to be. The Banelings of Oreo trying to move on forward. The Banelings of EnDerr are about to finish up, but they all get denied.
One of them will not pop out. They all, in fact, do get denied. And a couple of them just waiting to be morphed here, hoping that Oreo wouldn't see them. But Oreo does. He had that Overlord, and he will be denying them once again.
Oh, that he does. Oreo just barely keeping 2 Banelings alive. Now he's trying to push on forward. He's going for the kill. He's completely ignoring the third base.
Yeah, jumping right to the throw of here. Looked really terrible for EnDerr. Almost losing all of his Lings. Now he will. And the Banelings, once again, like, he just cannot get him up.
Oh, no, he cannot. EnDerr can't, and GG gets called.
Oreo gonna be tied up that series sideways 1-1. And I was really confused there for a second. I was thinking, why would Oreo pick this map? He had a plan. He had a plan all along and involved, making us think that he didn't.
Exactly.
Or making EnDerr think that he didn't.
Oh boy. And with that, Oreo ties up the series. I just love how patient Oreo was with those Banelings and how much he was taking care of them. They were like his firstborns. He did not allow them to be sniped whatsoever by EnDerr. I believe every single Baneling detonated with purpose. And he, as you said, he just, EnDerr, he just couldn't get it up.
That he could not.
Feels
and
bad.
like his firstborn, feels bad. And like his firstborn, he said, "You're 18 now. Go. Win me my battles."
And it worked out for him. Like, the Ling Bane control was beautiful there by Oreo, just so on point. What's important is that he just Ling Baned it up against EnDerr on the Singapore server.
And on Submarine.
That it was. Now here go on.
I can definitely see a little bit of sweat forming on EnDerr's brow over here.
EnDerr didn't even know that Oreo was Australian, mate. He didn't even. He has no idea who this guy is, mate. And here we have him, Oreo, tying up the series. Could potentially cause the upset.
You know, I just saw EnDerr. His mouth was moving up and down a little bit. I think I caught what he was saying. He was saying, "Uh-oh."
Just like every single victim does say as they fall to Oreo. Oh, but will he? This is it. This is the ace match.
All comes down to it. Well, we do have a double bracket going on today, and well, I'm not sure if it's a best of 1 or a best of 3 in that lower bracket, but you know, there is at least another chance here for whichever player unfortunately won't be able to advance from here. But we'll see who it's gonna be. Is it gonna be a player here in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, our red Zerg player? He is coming out from the land of Brisbane. He just Ling Baned it up on the Singapore server. He is representing Downfall Gaming, DFG. And he'll make his opponent say, uh-oh, he is Oreo.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Filipino Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Liab Esports, tied up 1-1. Will he fall here, or will he make it through to the next round? It is EnDerr.
And this is definitely a very, very tense matchup. It is the ace match. However, I would like to tell you, Light, I think you owe me a cup of coffee now, because Soundo just redeemed the group, please. Re-redeemed the group, please, I should say.
That he did, as Krupp is awake for the tournament. She is available to cast, so shout out to Sounder redeeming that group, please. That does mean that Kuro will jump on for the next cast.
Indeed, she will. Well, at her discretion.
At her discretion.
Pretty much what it's going to be. Hopefully it's going to be, hopefully it's going to be a ZvZ, and actually, yeah, it is going to be a ZvZ if she joins us in the next series, as Gogo Joey currently waiting on the other side of this match.
That he is. Hopefully her admin duties aren't too affected by this, as of course she is adminning at the moment, reporting scores, making sure, you know, walkovers do get announced. But, you know, since we are covering the first series here, it should alleviate a little bit there when we get into the next one. And yeah, so far both players playing incredibly safe, no early aggression whatsoever.
Huh. This is not what I wanted when I saw EnDerr signed up today.
Oh.
Or not quite what I expected, but we shall see. Oreo completely skipping link speed over here. He's banking that Gaslight. What's he going to use it on? It's going to see it so clearly. He's got 2 hatcheries so far. He's not making the third. He's got 2 hatcheries so far. He only has 1 gas geyser mining so far, but he can always get the other 3. There are only 2 hatcheries. He's getting that lair. He's getting that lair light.
There he is. So there were a couple of options available to Oreo, and I was kind of expecting him to throw down a Roach Warren, but there's no Roach Warren whatsoever. He is going for that lair. I'm kind of smelling a 2-base Spire.
I'm staring it right in the face right now. You can be smelling it all you want. A Roach Warren does go down at what I guess would be, you could say, it's a little bit delayed, but we did see that Oreo also delayed his own Roach Warren earlier on, just to, you know, make sure he gets saturated his natural base, and then he did in fact go into Roaches. That's a lot of links EnDerr's producing right now.
Exactly,
EnDerr coming out from Oreo. It's gonna be Spire.
It is. It's gonna be Mutaplay. It's going to be Mutaplay for Oreo again, like a big tell was the delayed Roach Warren there. But the problem is that I'm getting deja vu, just like game number 1. EnDerr is flooding links across the map. It did get spotted, but is it too late?
It very well might be. Oh, that's a massive, feels bad, I gotta tell you, Light. Had to cancel the creep tumor just to get a wall up, and this is actually not a very good location for the Evo chamber. There's quite a lot of surface area over here. +1 is going to be delayed for quite some time, and now it's getting a little worrisome. EnDerr definitely doesn't want to tangle with the Brootlings, but 3 queens? That's doable to fight. A couple of roaches now just to add a little bit of extra protection, a little bit of extra DPS here for our defender. And I think this is, okay, just enough energy for a couple of transfuses. Ooh, and EnDerr is not going to be able to break that. Just going to survive, but
just barely there. It's pretty interesting because this does seem to be EnDerr's response to, you know, to 2 bases being completely walled off. What I love is that Oreo, he completely switched things up. Like, because of this early aggression, because of the delayed Evo chamber, and because he was forced to make roaches, otherwise he would have just died, he is completely switching things up and actually going to roaches.
Yeah, definitely the right thing to do here. I'm not sure if I can go so far as to say it's the thing that I love. I want to see some of those mutas come out, like, but yeah, it is the much safer thing to do. If EnDerr, or if Oreo rather, continued on his Spire journey, he would just be completely taken out by the second wave from EnDerr here.
Yeah, he'd be dead. Like, there wouldn't have been enough DPS to keep this Roach Warren alive, then the Lings would have just flooded in and just killed everything. So yeah, I like the way that he was able to adapt to the situation he's in, but he was forced to adapt is the other thing, right? Like, I'm sure EnDerr much prefers to play against this style because he himself is going into Roach Ravager, much like game 1.
And time, he's a flat circle, and EnDerr's running around him.
But
we're getting the same thing as game number 1, so we haven't game number 2. I mean, like Shade even, this is a similar issue to Dephora.
Full circle, there we go.
Full circle. History repeats itself. You could say Roach Warren gonna be taken out a lot quicker this time. Oreo only now starting to remake it, and this is actually really massive. Even getting supply capped over here, so not even going to be able to, you know, get a couple of Lings to maybe buffer out. Actually, did Oreo Oh, no. They were morphing in from earlier on.
That they were, and mate, I'm again deja vu. Oreo, he's stuck on 2 bases. He was forced to cancel his 3rd base. We have EnDerr knocking on the front door, and Oreo cannot make roaches.
Yeah, this is not quite the same war of attrition as game number 1, but EnDerr is gonna take it. It seems here. Oreo actually with a very, very good defensive position on his roaches, forcing the concave over here. So EnDerr can't quite go for the throat yet. He is doing nothing but producing army units out of his hatchery, so he wants this game to end. Lair is going to be a while off, so it's going to be hard to reinforce his roaches right now.
Exactly.
But he might just pull them together and flood in with lings.
I want to say that the longer this game goes on, the better it is for Oreo. Like, Oreo has the massive upgrade advantage. He's working on +2. He has roach speed. There's a lot of potential with his army. If he gets an army, right? Like, if he actually gets things going. EnDerr, as you said, he focused a lot of his lava on his army. So as a result, his economy is suffering.
It very much is. I like what you said earlier. Oreo has a lot of potential as the game goes on, but I think the key term here is potential, right?
Yeah.
Oreo needs, I would say, what do you think about being a little bit greedy here, Lidus Oreo? Maybe double expanding?
Oh,
might be a bit of a risk, but
that's crazy, Yaku. I mean, it would be a risk, and it would be a way.
Something a little crazy over here.
It would definitely be something that he could go for. I'll give you that. But we'll see if he decides to do so. At the moment, he does need to focus on his army. Again, like, EnDerr is looking to be incredibly aggressive here, and it should get spotted by the Overseer. Oh, just barely.
Oh, just barely doesn't. EnDerr actually turning back a little bit here, and yeah, you're completely right. I mean, Oreo now overtaking the army supply. He's gonna have a very comfortable upgrade lead.
Yeah, and you know what
and like, the economy just being untouched.
Yeah, and he's just making nothing but units right now. There's going to be a really nice timing once +2 hits. Like, Oreo doesn't care whatsoever about droning up. He's looking to max out and hit hard.
And hit hard, he will, completely flipping the script here on EnDerr. And EnDerr, I mean, I'm not really sure what he's going for. It seems like he... Okay, so he droned up a little bit over here. Yeah, almost saturated on that 3rd base. And now he's focusing more on his army. I gotta say, if he is put on the defensive, I think EnDerr would be fine, but he wants to be active on the map. He's splitting up his army. I don't think he's even aware that his army split up too much right now.
Yeah, and he is unaware of the commitment that Oreo has put into this army. I think now is go time. Oreo has to make something happen now, and there we go. He's pushing on forward.
The Lauru Constitution just finished up for EnDerr over here. Was worried that he'd have a very unfortunate retreat over there. But EnDerr is back and far away. Meanwhile, the Lings from earlier, it seems, has managed to slip into Oreo's main base, taking out so much. This is gonna do a pretty good job of forcing Oreo to go all in, but once Oreo pulls that trigger, can EnDerr survive it? That's not looking too likely.
That's going to be the question. EnDerr does have reinforcements, and it looks like he's trying to surround the army. Nice dodges on those vials by Oreo, and he forces EnDerr to pull the boys.
He does. EnDerr does have the defender's advantage, but it is still going to take a little while for these roaches to pop up. That's it. Oh, never mind. The superior positioning here from Oreo and the far better upgrades right now completely destroys the main army here of EnDerr. And the reinforcements, they just pop out and meet their death.
Exactly.
The Lings from EnDerr, they're doing a pretty good job, but it's not going to be enough here. GG, well played. Oreo going to be the player advancing to face Go-Go Joey.
GG, well played. Oreo, against all odds, has been able to take the game. He takes the series, and he, as you said, he moves on. Mate, he took down the Oceanic champion.
He did do that, in fact. It's going to DreamHack. Sure, that's how that works.
I'm sure that is how that works. Oh my god, Oreo, I just love the killer instinct there. Again, like, Oreo, he wasn't droning up his third base whatsoever, and a key thing was that EnDerr wasn't checking that. He wasn't checking the drones at the third. He didn't realize how all-in Oreo was. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but Oreo, he sent an overseer around the southern half of the map to check the third. He saw that there were a bunch of drones at the third, and he's like, yo, let's go. He's like, let's do this. I have the advantage. I've got the upgrades. I've got this timing. And he hit it beautifully.
Very much did. And because of that, do not despair whatsoever, EnDerr fans. He is not knocked out of the tournament. He is just going to go down to that lower bracket. It is going to be best of one tonight.
Oh, that he will, as he does get knocked down there. You know, he isn't completely out of the tournament, as you said. And the big question is, before we begin our next series, we need to get Kuro in here.
Oh, yeah!